you're in danger of falling off. Now, this is for everybody who's taking breaks on their path to success and just do not know how to really get back in tune with themselves. Like, they took that break and they just don't know how to get that motivation and dedication to get back into it. And I'm gonna be honest, I fell victim to this many times myself. Honestly, I still fall victim to this shit to this day, to be real. It's a hard thing to push by, and it's something called burnout. A lot of us, we go through burnout in different stages, and there's different levels of going through burnout that people don't recognize. Your first sign of really seeing like you're in a burnout stage is when you start feeling less enjoyment with what you're doing. That's the first thing. It's not like people try to associate that shit with depression, but really it's just burnout. This shit is just temporary. And you just gotta figure out ways to get yourself out of it. That's what I had to learn. Like, there's a lot of ways to get yourself out of a burnout. Literally, the easiest way to get yourself out of a burnout is small task planning. So small task planning is when you make small accomplishments for yourself and you accomplish those small tasks, and like boom, you let that thing snowball. And you just keep giving yourself accomplishments. You keep working yourself up to know, like, okay, hey, there's still purpose in what I'm doing. And you start to slowly begin to fade away that burnout. You could also talk to people too, but a lot of people, especially men, I've noticed, they don't tend to talk to anybody when they experience these burnout situations. So they might be having this high-paying job and they might be doing these very successful things in life, but you just see them stop for some reason. You just see them like less apparent on like their social media or something like that, or just less outgoing. And that's because they're experiencing burnout, or possibly they could be locking into something bigger. But sometimes, more than likely, it's burnout. It's because like we as men, we just don't know how to express ourselves for real. You have to really be in tune with your emotions. You have to really be in like doing that deep work to really know like exactly what you got to do to really like figure out how to cure your burnout. And just like I mentioned, that's just one of many ways to cure your burnout, is just small task planning. There's many ways to do it. You could do things like just like the yes method is just saying yes to every event that gets thrown your way for like a week straight. So that means, hey, somebody says like, oh, you want to go golfing? Yes. You never went golfing before in your life, but you say yes to it. Like, oh, you want to go to the Bahamas? Yes. You just take off just to go do it. Like, you just have a yes week. There's many ways to get rid of burnout, but those are like just two ways that you can, but you have to just recognize it. The number one thing is recognizing that you are in the burnout stage. Once you recognize you are in a burnout stage, then boom, you can get past that deep moment in your life and really work forward on getting right for yourself, because nobody's going to get right for you. So you really got to know these things. Like, you really got to focus on what's going on in your life in order to move forward. So I hope whoever's experiencing burnout or watching this video like finds this helpful and starts to really look and do the deep work for themselves and find a method that really works for themselves.